You see what I'm saying? Or you understand the gist? If the calendar you have ain't the original biblical calendar, then you shouldn't critique anybody else's calendar, right? You should be quiet. You should be quiet. But when you do that, then you open the door for criticism yourself, right? So this is what I'm doing, right? Not in the spirit of malice, but in the spirit of education. In the spirit of education, each one teach one, right? Somebody, I'm sorry, who talk to me 10. I don't know who you are, right? You can ask your you can ask your question in the chat. It was created after the temple was destroyed. Well, the temple was destroyed. The second temple was destroyed in 70 A.D. Right? The Jews already had, the Israelites already had a calendar during the time of their Babylonian captivity, or the captivity of the Assyrians. Right? Jews didn't use a calendar during the times of the temple. Then if they didn't use a calendar in the times of the temple, then how would they deal with their festivals? Right? The whole calendar, the whole biblical calendar was wrapped around the moon phases, right? Right? When it came to festivals, holy days, and whatever else, all that was wrapped around the mean motions of the moon. So how would you do that without having a calendar? That's my question. They decided the first of the month, the witness testimony. The witness testimony? I'm going to have to disagree. They had a calendar. This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. They had a calendar during the time when they was in Babylon. So how do we explain that? Baby, peace. How do we explain their calendar during the time of their captivity to the Assyrians? That was way before General Titus, right? We talk about 70 A.D., right? That means Jesus was here and he was gone for 70 years already. We're talking about Babylon. We're talking about the Assyrians, right? They had a calendar. Now, if we go to the but but I have to go to the Jewish Encyclopedia and type in calendar and get some and see something real quick. Calendar. Okay. Now, okay, here it is right here, right? This is why Tammuz. This is why Tammuz is in the Jewish calendar. It's right here. Read after me. All right. Under the subtitle Babylonian Calendar, right? If you scroll down, it says, where is that? I just had it. Hold on. It says, okay, it says here. Number one, correctly states that the Jews got the names of the months at the time of the Babylonian exile. The names of the months, right? This is where Tammuz come in at, right? This is where Tammuz come in at, right? But up here, it says the history of the Jewish calendar may be divided into three. Hey, calm that down, man. The history of the Jewish calendar may be divided into three periods. The biblical, that's the biblical calendar, that's 100% lunar. The Talmudic and the post-Talmudic, right?
So I'll tell you, the way it worked
The
is that
first, I'm still reading. Hold on, Don Stakes, okay? Because I got the history right here. I'm not going to take what you're saying over the
I'll give you
history.
sources.
I'm in the source. I'm in the Jewish Encyclopedia.
That's not the most authoritative, but you can read that.
No,
I
you're
read it.
not
I'll be back in a few minutes when you're done. Let me know.
Okay, yeah. Because that's what Don Stakes like to do. He like to gaslight, right? Right? So gaslight, basically, you go on somebody's broadcast and you want to plant a seed of doubt, right? The next thing you know, the broadcaster's questioning his damn self. Maybe I am wrong, or maybe not. Uncle Juju, okay? I'll come with the sources. So, so Don Stakes should know me already. He should know me already, right? I don't talk because I got lips, right? When I'm breaking down something, I'm going to show you the source and we're going to read along together. So let's read along together. Jewish Encyclopedia, History of Calendar. The history of Jewish calendar may be divided into three periods. The biblical, right? That's the biblical calendar. That's the original calendar. The Jews don't use that calendar no more. The Talmudic calendar and the post-Talmudic calendar, right? That's the calendar they have now that they're using, the post-Talmudic calendar, not the biblical calendar, okay? The first rested purely on the observation of the sun and the moon. The second, an observation and the reckoning. The third, entirely on reckoning. The study of astronomy, I'm not going to read all that, right? But this is what hold on, I'm looking for something real quick. I'm scanning, right? Error in the calendar, okay? So the point that I'm making, I made my point. I made my point up here, right? I made my point up here to the Hebrew Israelites, right? Right? Biblical, the calendar history breaks up in three sections. Biblical, you don't have that calendar no more. That calendar been destroyed. The Talmudic and post-Talmudic, right? So that's the point I wanted to make, right? Is that you as an Hebrew Israelite can't critique the Gregorian calendar when you as an Israelite don't have the original biblical calendar. You don't. Absolutely not. Right? So that's like the pot calling the kettle black. That is the that is the impetus of this broadcast. That's the driving force of this broadcast. It's like you're really in no moral position to critique anybody's calendar in the world when you yourself don't have the original calendar. Are you finished reading? Yeah, right now I'm finished reading. Okay, here come Don Steaks again. But the Gregorian calendar isn't even the correct calendar.
Yeah, what's up, Juju?
Yeah, yes. How you doing, Don Steaks? Please inform me what calendar is the correct calendar.
Okay, I'm not really arguing with you.
No, not you. I'll speak to somebody in the chat.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I was just saying is that when the temple was built, the first temple, that was before they went to Babylon. There were two temples. The Romans destroyed the second one.
Right, in 70 AD.
When the temple was around, they used to decide the new year. Happy New Year, baby. They used to decide the new year. Witnesses would come and testify that they saw the new moon.
The new moon, right.
Yes, it was afterwards when they were exiled by Nebuchadnezzar from Babylon when they created a calendar, because when the temple wasn't there, they no longer did it through witnesses.
Uh-huh.
And that's why all the months, the Hebrew months, Nisan, Iyar, Sivan, Tammuz, they're all Babylonian names.
You're saying the same thing I just read.
Right? Yeah. That's what I was telling you. You told me, I was trying to tell you that there wasn't a calendar. The way it worked was they would decide every first month of the year through witness testimony.
Okay, so why do Jews have a calendar now?
So they have it now because the temple was destroyed. So they did the calculations to figure it out without having witnesses come in, because there's no temple where they would accept the witnesses.
Okay, so here's another question.
Now, I'll just tell you something interesting. An interesting fact.
Here's another question. Hold that thought. If you guys build a third temple, what's going to happen to the Jewish calendar?
So then they'll return to that. There'll be no more calendar. They'll go back to the old way.
Okay, now what's your fun fact?
Now, just an interesting fact that the way it worked was they would decide every month when the first day of the month was, and the word wasn't able to get around to all the different countries in the diaspora. So actually, they would keep the holidays for 2 days instead of 1 day because they weren't sure which day it would be.
Uh-huh.
And Jews still do that until today. In Israel, they have 1 day. The holiday will be 1 day. And then outside of Israel, it's 2 days because of that. That still continues.
So do you sing a song to the Queen of the Sabbath? You just practice that?
Yeah, but the Queen of the Sabbath is not a literal queen.
What is it?
It's talking about the divine presence.
But it's called the Queen of the Sabbath, right?
Yeah, they call it the Queen of the Sabbath, yeah.
Okay.
But not literally a queen.
It's not literally the queen, but
it's not like some angel known as the queen, yeah.
But it's called the prayer of the Queen of the Sabbath, and
it's called the Shabbos Kala, yeah.
And that's sung to usher in the Sabbath, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called really the bride of the Sabbath. The song is to the bride of the Sabbath more. I guess I'm translated queen.
So this is shit.
It's the Sabbath bride, not the Sabbath queen.
The Sabbath bride. Okay. Now I'm looking at some moon phases, right? And this is what the new moon looked like. That's the new moon right there, right? Then over here you can see the full moon, right? That's the full moon, and that's the new moon, right? So in order to see the new moon, oh shit, my computer's going off. Really?
The Mossad.
Nah, my battery went down. All right.
So the first day of the Jewish month, the moon will be just visible. On the 15th day of the lunar month is when the moon is full, and then it dwindles down. It gets smaller and smaller.
The new moon, the moon basically is black. You can't see it really.
Almost not, just a sliver.
You just see the slither, right?
Like so the first time you spot it, yeah.
That's how people determined in ancient days when the new moon was in, because they seen the slither, right?
And on the 15th day of the month, it's full. That's why all the Jewish holidays are always on the 15th, when the moon is full.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Right?
I mean, not all of them, but most of them.
No. The reason why it's interesting that you say that, right? That's on the 15th on a full moon, right? Because in other nations, right, the full moon and magical circles represents abundance, right? So anything that you want to bring into your life or into your house, you do it from the time of the waxing of the moon to the full moon, or your spells, whatever else. Then the full moon is like supercharged, right? You put
Yeah, Jews look at it more as renewal.
anything you want to be cleansed or anything else you put out in the moonlight of that full moon, right?
Right.
Right?
In Jewish traditions, it means renewal.
Same thing in
Yeah.
magic. Same thing.
Different than abundance, I guess.
No,
But
no,
I
no.
guess sort of the same.
It's the same thing, basically. Trust me when I tell you, right? You're working magic, if you like it or not.
So it's not magic. It's not magic.
It's magic. It's magic. Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, I promise.
We don't do magic.
It's magic. If you want to call it Jewish magic, if you want to call it Kabbalah, it's magic. If you're getting any type of blessings from a full moon, that's magic. Right?
No, we're not getting blessings from the moon. That's not what we're doing. We just look at the moon. It's more of a symbolism.
Tell me what you're doing. Why the 15th?
So
why the full moon? What's the purpose?
so the full moon just represents. It's symbolic of completion, renewal.
Completion. Yeah, they say the same thing in magic.
Yeah, I'm saying it's more symbolism. It's not like magic.
I'm saying parallels with the same.
Yeah, there are some parallels.
That's all I'm saying. Right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not sure what you mean by magic.
You know exactly what I mean by magic. You don't know what magic means?
I don't know what magic means, but people have different definitions of what it means.
Okay. What I mean by magic